What's up? What's up, everybody? It's your boy G the Predicament back again. Sorry I missed y'all last week. I was out of state, but it's time to go ahead and get these recaps caught back up. So today, since we are catching up, we got to go over what happened on episode 7, and also we're gonna be covering episode 8 as well. Episode 7. Honestly, it was kind of lackluster. It did bring the drama back after we had spoke about wanting to get some more drama going because we had like a pretty laid back episode. Um, Episode 7 was pretty much all about the Stunna Girl and Biggie beef. If you remember where we pick up, Biggie kind of snuck Stunna Girl, so and Stunna looked stunned, but um once she got her composure, she was ready to go her big one. She was ready to go her rounds with Biggie. She got her to square up with her, and once they squared up, honestly, it looked like if they would have just let him go. I mean, they were kind of, let's see, how can I say this? They were kind of tangled up, but even security was like, man, pulling Stunner Girl off of Biggie, it was a task. Your girl grip is wild, wild, wild strong. Um, uh, Fight escalates. Pretty much, it feels like I kind of think I know what Zeus was going with. They were like, okay, let's since episode's gonna be fighting, but let's like throw like the funny pot shots in because that was one of the cool things about BGC. Like there was some classic one liners that are still like TikTok worthy today, like "Buy Your Life," and stuff like that. I made you breakfast in bed. Everybody looking for like their little one liner. It was some pretty funny ones coming out of here. But this was just like really like the girls just taking shots, like Biggie just accusing Stunner Girl of having to sleep for everything, sleep with dudes for everything that she got. Stunner Girl did say she looked like a grape. Thought that was pretty funny. I thought she would have probably called her an olive, but grape works too. Um, they go at it. I think one more time before Stunner actually gets Biggie's chain. She stands there. She's like taunting Biggie with the chain, and it's actually kind of funny because I don't know if y'all seen what I seen, but for a moment there, it kind of looked like Biggie was about to cry about her chain. It kind of reminded me of that scene from Friday. Like my grandma bought me this chain. She's like, I work hard for everything I got. And Stunner Girl's like, man, this little bitty chain, like what? And she's like, yeah, it's little because I worked for it. I didn't sleep with dudes for it. Yeah, Stunner really, really got under her skin with that chain. So Stunner's like showing out. She's like rubbing the chain on her butt. Eventually, she throws the chain up into a tree, tells her go fetch. Um, at this point, like the commotion is just getting loud, and Natalie comes outside. She's trying to figure out what's going on, trying to talk to the girls. It's pretty much how it is with Stunner. We see now. It's like no calming that girl down. When Stunner is on go, Stunner is on go. You don't care who it is. And I've even had some people say, like, man, like how do you still like Stunner Girl? Like she seems to be the problem. And I hate to say it, like, I kind of understand where Stunner has came from when she feels like I think it's because she's young. She feels like the girls try to little girl her, as she has said. They try to always like tell her what to do, and I mean she's just not having it. I mean sometimes it's about the approach. Some people just don't accept constructive criticism or construction criticism, as the baddies like to say. But that's a whole nother story. um Eventually Tommie comes outside, and then Stunner Girl's like she's picking up on it. She's like, oh, okay, it's some ganging up stuff going on because Stunner has pretty much been only around Kat this whole time. She really hasn't been around the other girls except for when they were doing club appearances. She was able to keep it cool, during those times. So kudos to her for that. However, just to touch base on that, there is a fight that I don't know if y'all caught on, but they mentioned it. Natalie kept saying no fights tonight. Like, people are going to be recording, and I actually seen this fight. Well, I believe it was Tommie and Stunner. I'm gonna double check, and I'll put it in the comments. But this fight had been recorded actually when they were filming, and it was like some few punches were thrown in the bar. But Zeus didn't air that one for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it didn't go along with the storyline. um, sometimes they have to put things in a different order or leave things out just to make a cohesive storyline to make it look a certain way for the viewer. So, um, I'm still curious if that's gonna come up again in conversation on the show. But I digress. Got off subject. So yeah, at this point, Stunna Girl is figuring out that the girls are kind of ganging up on her, Biggie and Tommie, because they both don't like each other. It's like the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Um, at one point later in the episode, she even says to Natalie, "It's a shame." She's like, "I'm the youngest one here. They got to make group homes to try to fight little old me." Like group homes? People make group homes to fight people? But hey, I'm here for it. Stunna, she can't do no wrong right now in my book. Like she's definitely making the show. She's making for great TV. Um, I don't think it really would have been too much drama besides the Lauren and Krishan drama, and then with Krishan not being present, I mean, who else is gonna keep the drama going? So, um, again, episode 7, that's pretty much they drug out that drama almost until the very end of the episode. Close to the end of the episode, that's when we find out that the girls are heading out and going to Phoenix for the next performances. They got one performance in Phoenix, one in Scottsdale. Some girls are going on the private jet or the PJ, as the baddies like to call it. Some of the girls are going on the bus. On the jet, we had Natalie, Low, Stunna Girl, Razor, and Scotty. Again, Krishan is not present at all. Then on the bus, we had Biggie, Tommie, Rolly, and Cat. Oh, and oh yeah, and DJ Sky. I kind of always forget about DJ Sky because I don't even know why she's still here. If Krishan not here, how the babysitter here but the baby not here? I don't know how that one works, but I don't know. I want that babysitting gig. The baby in a whole nother state, and the babysitter just chilling, just still riding out, still getting to the bag, like getting her cut of the bag. But hey, I don't know, Natalie, what you doing? So we end off, like I said, finding out what's going on with the girls and their transportation at the end of episode 7, which kind of leads me right into episode 8. Episode 8. I'm the special guest. It's the name of the episode. And again, like we pick up with the girls on the private jet. Stunna and Razor are going back and forth. Still, again, it seems like every time someone tries to talk to Stunna Girl and they try to, talk to her about the way that she handles situations or her attitude in general, she's just not very receptive. And I'm not going to say that every time that the girls have talked to her that they've all approached her correctly. I mean, it's always a lot of drinking involved. And the commotion between her and Razor, I feel like it's always heightened with Razor because I hate to say it, I really like Razor. She definitely was like the eye candy this season. I appreciate the fact that she gets to the bag. She has her businesses, but maybe Razor's not a drinker. Maybe Razor is just drinking because she's on Baddies and she's drinking to do what Baddies do. Razor can't handle her liquor. I feel like most of the situations that Razor has been in this season could have definitely been prevented by her not drinking so much or her listening to someone saying, "Hey, just take a break. Let's just chill for a minute." Um, but the girls actually get into a physical altercation on the jet. Razor gets her wig snatched off. Um, I don't know how close they were to landing because it seems like they were landed or pretty close because some of the screenshots showed that you could see like it was being filmed from outside the jet and it's like through the window. So I believe the girls had pretty much like almost landed at that point, but they had to separate them. They couldn't even ride together to the Airbnb where they were going to be living while they were in Phoenix. Stunna had to be separated and ride on her own separate sprinter, probably with like production or security or something like that. It looked like she was with security actually. Um, Natalie is like telling the girls like y'all gotta calm down. Like we don't want to get on a no fly list. Low is just like completely outdone. She's like, what level of ratchet is this? Like the level of ratchet is over 9,000 at this point. Like Most people would never get on a private jet in their life, and this where y'all choose to fight. Like, I know we filming a show, and everybody feel like they have something to prove or do they big one. As everyone says nowadays. But I still think that it's a time and a place for everything, and that's pretty much what everyone has been saying to Stunna Girl this whole entire time. But also, hey, know your audience. Think about who we talking to here, people. Just the same person that put somebody in the cage, allegedly. I don't really think that she cared. Like, it's up and it's up and it's stuck. It's wherever. And it's funny because actually one of the funniest scenes that came out of that, um, them showing like the girls once they were separated, they literally were both saying the same thing. Stunner's like, I don't care if we at the mall, in church, when I see you, it's up, it's on. Razor saying the same thing, like she's not backing down, like that it's on as soon as she sees Stunner Girl. So man, here we go. Girls finally arrived to the house again in separate situations. All the way to the house, mind you. They're trying to calm Razor down. It just seemed like it's no calming her down. Stunner was again by herself with like security, so like security wasn't really responding. You just heard Stunner just kind of venting, just kind of talking her shit. Um, but at this point, I think Natalie is like kind of realizing like, man, like Stunner Girl is the problem. Stunner Girl has literally fought Tommie um at the photo shoot. When they first arrived at the very first house, she fought Rolly, and she also fought Tommie again. Now she's fought Biggie and also Razor. She just like knocking them down. Like she just going after every girl in the house. Like nobody is safe with Stunner Girl around. Oh, just to back up a little bit. They did show more of the girls on their bus ride this episode too. Uh, with the girls kind of bonding and everything. It was some of the stuff we seen from the trailer when they talked about how COVID affect everyone's life. A few of the cast members spoke about how they lost friends and family members to COVID. Um, Also, their businesses were affected, things like that. It was actually one of the few times I think ever on Baddies with this season three, that they showed the girls in that type of light when it was like a more of a serious situation, more of an emotional like bonding type situation where it actually felt legit. It felt like everyone was being genuine. I did see during that time though the confessionals the girls were saying like, I hope I didn't open up to these girls for to come back and bite me in the ass. 'Cause that's probably what's gonna happen. That's probably gonna happen soon. But all we can do is wait and see. And I mean, I guess we can hope for the best that's not what they do with that information. Um, but overall, though, yeah, the bus ride was a success. The girls did have their little fun. Tommie and Biggie had went out and bought like pajamas and onesies and everything for the girls, and they had like face masks and lip balm, so for the beauty regimen. Um, they even had a little prank where they went out and they faked rob of the store. I'm pretty sure we all know that. First of all, I don't think anybody, even Zeus Network, is uh gonna actually perform a crime on camera. I'm pretty sure production went into the store, paid for the items, or just drop money down and say, "Hey, we're filming." Um, Even if the fact that they came in and committed the crime with cameras walking 2 steps behind them, um, I'm pretty sure that the store knew something was up. They knew it was like all a gag or like a prank or something like that. Um, but yeah, you know that was set up or like prearranged. Yeah, but the bus ride was a success. It was the PJ. The PJ was a hot mess. But yeah, the girls get to the house. The girls are still trying to get at each other. Natalie is like completely over it at this point. She's like, nope, no fighting. Let's get in this house. Everybody find your bed. Like she's not even trying to show the girls around. She like, find your room, go to bed. I don't want to hear it. I'm completely over it. Yeah, at this point, the chin has had enough. Also on PJ, something else that was a hint to Razor possibly having too much to drink. It looks like she had been sitting next to Scotty the whole entire time, and then after she gets into it with Stunner Girl, now she's mad at Scotty, and she's like, "You gotta move. I'm not sitting next to no bitch I got beef with." Like, what? Y'all made up, bro. Like, even Scotty was confused, but In true Scotty fashion, she didn't get active right away. She just opted to just say, you know what, I'm just gonna switch spots. It's not even worth it. So, shout out to Scotty for being the bigger person. I think she already proved her point. When she put the pause on her a couple episodes back, Razor really don't want them problems. But I guess she drunk Razor does. So the Arizona house actually is probably like the nicest house that even the girls said it was the nicest house. Seems like it's the biggest house. This house has the least amount of room sharing going on. Most of the girls have like pretty nice sized rooms. They had their own bathrooms. The house was large enough where it was like two wings. Um, Pretty sure they're gonna keep girls that have beef on opposite sides of the house. That'd be the smartest thing to do. The only people that did get kind of done dirty on the rooms, there was one tiny little room. It was kind of like a closet, and it had like double bunk beds, so it's like four beds in this tiny little room with like no closet space. Like I didn't even think it was like room for like a TV or dresser. It was like literally like a closet, and it was for DJ Sky, uh, Biggie, and Scotty. DJ Sky, Biggie, and Scotty. They're all expected to stay in this tiny little room together. Even DJ Sky made a comment about like her luggage wouldn't even fit in the room. So it was kind of funny how Scotty is a returning cast member and they kind of did her dirty like that. Maybe they plan on actually, now hear me out. Maybe they planned on putting like the three newbies and putting Stunner in that room as well. But Stunner having beef with Biggie, yeah, that wasn't gonna work. Because I doubt that Krishan would have even opted to stay in that tiny room. Or and if Krishan had her own room, the baby should have been in the room with Krishan. But hey, I don't know. Maybe they knew Krishan wasn't gonna be there. She's barely been there this season. She's like special guest Krishan. She should not be in the middle of the promo next to Natalie right now. She's barely been there. All right, the next morning, all right, wake up next morning. We got Natalie and Tommie doing their usual, sitting in the kitchen having drinks, um, talking about how the trips were, the bus ride and the ride on the private jet, and Tommie's telling her how all the girls bonded. Everything went like super smooth. They all had a great time. And then we have Natalie with the story of the drama and the private jet and the wig snatch. And then it was the fact that Natalie had actually recorded cell phone footage of the fight herself, even though there's cameras there. That's an EP right there. Now you EPing just like you should be, staying out of the drama and recording the drama. And if you are creating the drama, it's not as in plain sight as it was. We don't see the strings this time. So shout out to Natalie for having cell phone footage. She should like release that on social media after the episode aired. That would have been um all the girls are pretty much just catching up about the respective trips. The girls who were on PJ were telling girls about the bus, so on and so forth. We had a moment for Kat and Stunna. They've been like hanging out together this whole entire time. Kat has not had much time to bond with the other girls, due to trying ever since she left to calm Stunna down, like on episode 1 or 2. Like that's just where she's been. She's just been calming her down every episode. It was kind of funny though, because Stunna even spoke about Kat having a chance to mingle with the other girls and not be under her wing, so to speak. It's kind of funny because like Kat's like the big sister. If she didn't want to be there, she wouldn't. Which I don't know, some things that we've seen in interviews and stuff like that. Kat did say, production had her doing her role when it came to the whole Biggie and Stunner fight. They asked her to get the girls together. She was done. That was the end of her scene. TV is TV. I do think that you can have friendships with people in situations like that and still understand that there is a job that has to be done. So I'm not gonna throw shots at nobody, say nobody is fake, nothing like that, because it is what it is. I mean, all she did was bring them together. Now, when Natalie and Tommie were speaking earlier in the day in the kitchen, they both planned on having a sit down with Razor about her drinking. So we're gonna have Tommie, the whole alcoholic, talk to another alcoholic about their drinking problem. But okay, Zeus, we gonna just roll with it. We'll let it ride because Natalie's there, and I guess she doesn't have a drinking problem. I don't. I just can't have nobody judging me that's worse off than I am. But hey, it's not me, not my circus, not my monkeys. um, they sit down and they speak to her about her drinking problem. Scotty also arrived there during this time. She spoke on how she thought they had made up, and Razor got all confrontational with her. It seems like Razor was being a little more receptive to what the girls were saying because she was like, "Yeah, it definitely was the alcohol. It wasn't any residual, bad feelings between her and Scotty. So I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens next time she drinks on the next episode. Um, so we fast forward a little bit. Girls are getting ready to see the girls getting ready to go out, getting ready for their performances for that night, getting ready to go host the club. Right before we all get ready to go out, however, Natalie calls the girls together all in the living room area so she can distribute the bag. Here's where the problem comes in. So they've been the last stop that they made was Vegas. So from the shows that they did in Vegas, the girls managed to pull in about 20 bands, about 20K. There's 11 girls on the cast. That means that they making literally less than 2K a piece. To me, that seems like a problem. And to my understanding, don't get me wrong, allegedly, um from what I've seen, the girls they are getting paid. They are getting paid just a regular appearance fee, like weekly or you know per season. But everyone's not getting paid equally. I do believe that. I'll speak more on that later. Of course, executive producers are getting paid more, but I just thought it was odd that these things hadn't been talked about beforehand. It's almost like maybe Zeus or Natalie held back from being like I think they didn't really clarify what what the stipulations were as far as the money they collected from club appearances. Now, if Zeus is paying them an appearance fee for being a part of the show, that's one thing. But now that they're, doing these club appearances, I mean, these girls sometimes get paid more than 2K just for a walkthrough. They're hosting. Some of them are also performing. It seems like all of this should have all been talked about beforehand. There's no reason that we should be having this conversation about money at this point in the season. Um, a lot of the girls are upset. Girls that do perform feel like they should get more than girls who don't perform. Um, and it's just kind of funny to me because all of this came about right as Natalie was talking about having structure with the shows when the girls go out to host these parties and perform at these parties. And she was like assigning roles. She was saying, like Rolly's gonna open up the show, Krishan's gonna close the show, Tommie's gonna do a special song at the end as a special guest. She was telling some of the girls they were gonna be in the audience twerking, hyping people up. She said that Kat will be pouring bottles. So everybody does have a job that they're doing. And some people will come out just to see their favorite baddie. Do I agree that they all should be paid the same as the girls that do perform? I can't really say that. I know that there's a lot more that goes into performing. Um and again, if there was more money in the pot to be split between the girls, I don't even think that this conversation probably would have been as big of an issue. But the fact that the money that they're getting is less than what girls can get paid for a walkthrough, and now girls are saying, okay, well, I'm not just doing a walkthrough, I'm coming through and I'm performing as well. That's the case, just don't do your song, just do a walkthrough. But then you need the exposure, so you got to do your song. Sketch 22. But hey, that was just my little rant. Sorry about that. But that is where we left off the episode. Again, it was Tommie and Rolly, who are the two main performers that feel like they should get paid more because they're doing more. When you have girls who want to perform low, who has performed, but really she had her role of performer taken down because her song wasn't ready, and of course DJ Sky was just told she couldn't perform. So those girls saying that they feel like they should all be paid equally. I think that they're right only because this was not talked about. There was no contract. There was no pre-negotiation. That is why I have to side with those girls. But at the same time, do I think it's fair that if I go out with someone to host a show and I'm promoting my song, I guess there's two ways I could look at it. If we both get paid the same, I got my promo for free. I mean, well, not for free, and I got paid. But also could say, well, I only did not just do a walkthrough and mingle with people, but I also performed. And if I perform, there's instant 5K. But hey, that's just me. So I guess we'll find out more about how this all goes down next week. Let me know what y'all think about everything in the comments, and I will see y'all next week, everybody. Later.